this bell ringing ceremony off with the honor of Ricky and Mike doing so. Why? Because both of them were recently released due to injustices in our system, both freshly put back into society within the last year. And I think that they both deserve to both be standing together, ringing cowbells, and leading us off. Because if anyone deserves it, it's definitely them. We've been free. We're able to live our lives. However, we have to keep in mind that there's not only just 50,000 people in Ohio's prisons, but there's millions of them across the United States. You know, we are not the only ones suffering. Missouri's not the only one suffering. We have to come together as a coalition across the United States in order, I don't know whose that is, but that's cute. In order to make real change happen, we have to. It's not just you, it's not just me, it's everyone. All right, Mike. Coming to the mic is Robert Urban. Mike. This young man is the founder of the LEAP Group. Oh, you're younger than me, honey. You're a young man to me. Respect your elders. Absolutely. But Mike won a case against the state of Ohio for technicalities. And no matter how big or small that technicality might have been, it still happened. And he was wrongfully incarcerated. I'm going to go ahead and give Mike the mic for a moment or two. We have 5 minutes until we're standing in solidarity ringing bells. But the two of them are going to take our two of our cowbells and ring together.
Hi, Azura. Heard me. Can everybody hear me? This microphone is kind of strange. Okay, so let's talk about it. The truth is that Mr. Kidd and myself are proof that wrongful convictions, number one, happen, and number two, that there are reliefs in place. But I want to talk a little bit about motivation and determination. How many people here, we're going to keep it local for a minute, and you can silently raise your hand if you're tuning in virtually. How many people have petitioned the court and been denied? I should see more hands than that. Come on. All right.
Public records requests from prosecutors and was denied.
Yeah, we're getting public records requests that are being denied. How many people have lost motivation and determination after the first denial? Hands up, anybody?
No.
Second denial. How many people wanted to give up? Third denial. How many people wanted to give up? Fourth, fifth. Ricky, how many was it for you?
11.
11 times. I was denied 35 times. 35 times until I said, we're going to keep pushing. So it's important for everybody here, whether you're looking for a public records request, whether you're fighting a wrongful conviction, whether it's time for a judicial release. You know, if you're eligible, then you need to be released. If you meet the eligibility requirements, there's no reason, unless you're, the court's going to look at it and say, well, you know what, the defendant's conduct is in question. But is it really? Because everybody gets speeding tickets once in a while, right? So if your shirt's untucked, I wear my shirt untucked every day. So, what are the stipulations? How can we change that? This is my opinion. When things like this happen, it is so important to keep our focus and our determination up so we can keep making noise and raising awareness. My motto was, I was served to a prison sentence of 6.5 years. That's true and accurate. No one can deny that or dispute that. But my mentality on that aspect was, if I have to do these 6.5 years, at least I can walk out at the end of it and say, you know what? I tried. And that's something that nobody could take away from me. So what we're all going to do, right? We're all going to come together and we're going to make a silent promise to ourselves and this and that, because incarcerated lives matter, right? I hate that word inmate. I think it's the most degrading thing ever.
Yes.
But if we have loved ones who are incarcerated, then we just have to realize and come to understand that we're going to have denials, we're going to have objections. That's what the state's there for. They want to object to you. They don't want you to come home. They're making too much money. But with that being said, we're going to keep raising our voices, because Mr. Kidd and myself, we're living proof to the fact that if we make enough noise, we will be heard.
That's right.
And we will not be silenced.
That's right.
We will not be silenced. Okay.
We will not be silent.
All right, make some noise.
Not be silenced.
One more time.
We will not be silenced. We will be heard.
All right.
We will not be silenced.
We will be heard. That's right.
We will not be silenced.
We will be heard.
We're on a 60-second countdown till 4 o'clock.
Everyone grab your bells. It's almost 4
We've got a bell, and we're going to inform the media that this is a nationwide observance right now at a 4 o'clock ceremonial bell ringing. If you want to capture this moment, Mr. Kidd and myself were recently released after wrongful convictions. Mr. Kidd did 23 years. I did 2 years on a 6.5 sentence. I'm going to turn the mic over to Mr. Kidd.
What's the countdown?
Go.
As soon as that thing hits 4. I'm going to grab this for the 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. I'm rolling. 7, 6, 5,
4,
The moment of truth.
2, 1. Let freedom ring! Let freedom ring! Let freedom
Just want to say that at 22 years old, I was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of armed criminal action. They gave me 4 life sentences without the possibility of parole. They tell a young 22-year-old that he's never going home for a crime that he absolutely did not commit. I was devastated. I'd never been engaged with the criminal justice system on that level. I didn't even think that innocent people go to prison. I thought in 1996 that people was just trying to get out of going to prison. I didn't think that an innocent person even needed a lawyer. So it was no big deal when they assigned me a public defender or public pretender. 2 days later, after a 2-day trial, I was found guilty and sentenced to that 4 life sentence without the possibility of parole. It was so heavy, like the sky falling in or an elephant who decided to take a seat on my shoulders. I almost gave up during the first year and a half. I had to find myself in a cell, in the mirror, having a conversation. Do I find a way to call it quits? Or do I quit trying to find a way to give up? I decided to quit trying to find a way to give up in the fight. Every day after that, all I knew was to fight. If you see on my forearms, it says, when I put up my dukes, no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. And I wanted them on my forearms because the only way you can see them is when I'm in fight mode. We all have to be in fight mode. I came home a year ago. It was easy for me to find me a good recliner, get me a good Netflix subscription, and to watch Netflix for the next 2 years. Easy. Just catching up on 23 years of being gone. I immediately decided to roll up my sleeves and get in the fight. 6 weeks later, I started my platform, I Am Resilience, a motivational speaking, criminal justice reform platform. I immediately began crisscrossing the states. 10 before COVID hit, and we back on the move right now with this 15. That means in a year, I've hit 25 states, halfway across the United States, raising awareness about our imperfect justice system, but also about our ability to be resilient. We all have the ability to walk in our resilience. We all have that ability. So I want to encourage everybody who's here today. I want to let you know, it was 23 years, it was 11 no's, but it was that one yes that brought me in front of you today. Don't let 11 no's was a plenty to say, pooey, it's over. No need. In fact, I was on my last appeal, my very last appeal. It's like a gun you done shot all you can shoot, and it's one last bullet. And you better aim and you better hit right. My last appeal brought me here because I did not give up, because my loved ones did not give up, because the community did not give up, because groups like Epic and Leap and individuals like yourself did not give up. I want to be an example to you today because I know you have loved ones in places like that, if not that one across the street. Do not give up. It looks ugly at times. You look defeated. You feel defeated. But you can come back. I love the analogy of Rocky Balboa, one of my favorite movies as a kid. Now, I didn't understand what it would mean to me as a grown man. But Rocky got beat up, did he not? Rocky looked like he was out, did he not? Rocky got knocked down so many times, did he not? But then he got up. And boy, when he got up, didn't he come back? And boy, when he came back, didn't he end up winning? And so we all have, this isn't my success. This is an example of what your success will look like as well if you hold on to your resilience, if you search for the Rocky Balboa in you, and if you do not choose to get up. We don't go home till they come home.
That's right.
We don't go home till they come home. That's my message today. The task is at hand, and we are the solution. Everyday people. You don't see no lawyers out here.
No.
You don't see nobody from the legal community out here. We are the solution. Don't forget that. I am the proof. Don't just listen to what I say. See me. Touch me. Recognize it does happen, it can happen, and it will happen. Yes. We don't go home till they come home. Yes. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. God bless.